Hey friends, I'm on sabbatical for the month of August, so I've pre-recorded a bunch of videos to tell you some of my favorite things about HubSpot. And today I want to talk about Data Studio. I've talked a lot about data features recently. I did enrichment, and I've done quality, and a little while back I did data models. So why not Data Studio? This is a data hub feature. There are a few lightweight things you can do with data sets if you don't have a data hub, but what I'm about to show you today just mostly lives in data hub, and it's pretty cool. There are lots of different things you can do here. Honestly, most of it is beyond me as a not very data technical person. But let's talk about combining sources, because I think this is the most fun part anyway. So what you can do is, of course, you have your HubSpot data inside HubSpot, all your different objects here. But then you can bring in additional data. And so if we want, we can connect a new source. I want to show you the use advanced join configuration thing, because I just think this is so fun. So we can add a primary data source here. Again, your HubSpot sources will appear here, but you can bring in external sources. I have Google Sheets set up because that's the easiest thing for me. But there's Airtable and all sorts of external systems you can pull data in from here. And then when you do that, you have them essentially as tables. And this organizes it. It does a great job. And then you can join another data set here. So maybe I'll pull in a HubSpot. Let's keep it simple and just go with contacts. We can go ahead and continue here, and we start building out this database that we're going to be using as the basis of our data set. But what's fun for me is talking about the joins here. If you manage the join, you get a little. I love how they've built some education into this. I learned a little bit of SQL from a friend 15 years ago. I don't remember much. I really appreciate definitions being given like this. So a left join, we have this left table, which is that spreadsheet, the first one we added. And the right table is contacts. And a left join is going to return all the rows from this table, and then any contacts that match that row, right? So we have this full spreadsheet, and then we're adding columns where the rows already exist. But what you can also do is an inner join, where we're only going to return the rows that are common to both tables, right? Which is pretty cool. And regardless of which of these you're doing, you can choose what we're matching on. Email address makes a ton of sense. It automatically identified that there's a column called email address in the left table and one called email in the right table. But you could choose a different one if you want a different one. You could just use association labels if these were, both HubSpot tables. And then down here, you can choose if you're going to get multiple matches. One row in the left table can match multiple rows in the right table, or one row in the left table can match at most one row in the right table, right? So depending on what sort of data sets you're working, what you're trying to get to, lots of options here that I just think is so cool. And so we get this all set up, right? We could join more data sources if we want, but let's say we're happy with this. We're going to continue preparing our data. Now we're going to choose which columns from these sources get added into this combined table we're creating, right? And right now we're bringing in a lot of these. Something I think is super fun is view selected columns only, right? So like contacts is really long, lots of contact properties, hard to sort around and see what we've got in there. But if we turn this on, we see, oh, we're only bringing in these 4. That makes sense, right? And we could deselect some, and we could deselect that one. And then, if you want to add some, you could add some back in like this, right? And then you can add those columns to the data set, and now you're great. You're set, right? And now you have additional options up here, right? Like what if we wanted to add some formulas? And there you can add a custom formula, right, that does basically whatever you want. But there are all these pre-built options here that are pretty cool. You could apply conditional logic or create a summarization. Something I learned while I was prepping this video for you, we have find and replace in here. I had no idea. You can choose a particular column. You can choose what you want to find, what you want to replace it with, right? So here you're bringing external and internal sources. You're selecting just the columns you want. You're building formulas on top of that, summarizations or whatever you need, right? A sum or a min or a max or an average, whatever you need. And then you have this data set made. You can name it. And when data sets were first created, they were just the basis for building a report. Once you had it, you could go build a report on it. What you can do in Data Hub is you can use it to launch workflows. You can use it as a basis of segments. These are great out because Google Sheets don't work with them. But I wonder if that will change. The new agentic workflow builder can use Google Sheets to trigger things, which is pretty cool. CRM sync, right? If you want to create these formulas and pull in data from external sources and then sync that back into CRM properties, you can do that, or you can just export it. These things all consume credits, so that's worth paying attention to. Using it in a report does not. And you come in here and, you give it a name. and it'll give it a description automatically, and then off you go to build your report. So this is fun. If you have Data Hub, you should definitely play with Data Studio. There's so many powerful things you can do. You get so much data inside of HubSpot and build reports or automation or whatever you want off of it. Let me know what you think of that, and I'll be back next time with more HubSpot stuff.